I know I know that they're on their way. I got a phone call from them.
And everybody else is good. That's not, is that what? Okay. The only thing that we need to watch is
So we need to, what time is it? Okay. And we want,
all too well.
that's a class going on there?
Right now, but I think they're all college hours. We're booked it, but it's not 11. I think it's going to be 11:15, 11:30. I don't know.
We'll work it out.
We should probably not announce it down there. I'm sitting down there ready to go and just popped up.
We're going to try to get everybody in.
Maybe we'd be all right with me just go and just let it go. You know.
Yeah, it might be. I don't think anybody will have a problem if they have to stand. Mining. And we also have the space up there if we want to head out.
But I just want to make an announcement to go there. It's not ready.
So,
That mic is live.
thank you. Just putting these out. Eric Carney needs to be out by 11:30. I think everybody really want to hopefully move quickly. So I'm gonna try to, and I did speak with Tom, and try to weave a story together where it started. And when I talk about partnerships, I'll ask you to come up and talk about mom and pops, and then because a lot of people in the room are mom and pops. Good. Does that sound okay? So then after you and then Tom will come up. And then we'll have time to Tom will come up. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about partnerships after you up. Sam? Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started in just a minute. Please come on in and grab a seat. Please come on in and grab a seat. So, what I'm going to do is try to read a story of how Brookdale came about.
So I talk about how important program is. And basically, this is just healthy living, right? This is healthy living, mind, all those things, being able to give the opportunity for a student to have a not reach the
That's it. So, the programming is about connecting people with basic needs, food and mental health, there's the mind body, there's yoga and healthy living, food, obviously, and then there's academic programming where they're teaching people about it. So,
Oh, impressive. Impressive. Oh, wow, that's impressive. And you heard about the groundbreaking.
yes, because
Yeah, you might not be able to be
I have a doctor's appointment at the doctor number
last going to be there. Can you have somebody from the school speak?
Lessons that's not going to do.
But how about from Brooklyn? Can I get somebody there?
I have questions here. I was going to confirm if they can do that.
Because I want somebody to talk. Two. Trustees, I'll have yes. And from the trustees.
Okay, good. Good morning, everyone. Please grab a seat. We're going to get started. They are. Good morning, everyone. We do have a relatively tight time schedule for our speakers. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our ribbon cutting ceremony for the Caroline Huber Holistic Wellness Center. This is a project that's been a long time in its making. And what we're going to do is I'm going to try to weave a bit of a story together for you so you can understand a little bit better about how we arrived at the day today in this space. I'd like to first just mention we have a few dignitaries that I wanted to just acknowledge. We have with us our Commissioner Director, Thomas Arnone. And as well, Sue Kiley, Commissioner Sue Kiley. Members of our Board of Trustees, our Chair, Paul Krupe. Barbara Hall. Dice Davis. And Rebecca Fishoff, our graduate trustee. There are, oh, and Tracy Abbey White. There's Tracy. Thank you. I could not miss Tracy. Thanks, Tracy. There are so many folks that are in the room that were instrumental in bringing us to this space today. There are CEOs of multiple organizations. We're not going to have the time to call everybody out, but I do appreciate every single partner who is here with us today. We're going to have an opportunity to hear from a couple of speakers. We will have a ribbon cutting, and then we're going to have plenty of time for you to be able to mix and mingle and look throughout the space. Thank you, everyone who's been so instrumental in the partnership that is the Caroline Huber Holistic Wellness Center. So, 2021, we were still in the middle of dealing with COVID. I was in my basement getting ready for a meeting. I was ironing a shirt because you didn't need pants back then, remember? You didn't need pants. So I was ironing a shirt and getting ready for a meeting, and I got a phone call. And the phone call was from my very good friend, Sam Huber. Sam Huber said that he wanted to know if we had any projects that were on the top of mind for Brookdale, that he and his mom and the organization that Sam will speak about would be able to fund. So I thought really quickly, we had had several conversations about the need for social services, the need for us to have a wellness center here. A number of faculty were very involved in talking through how we would have a wellness center here on campus. And so that was the first idea that was thrown out. Sam said, brilliant, love it, write it up. So within a matter of a couple of minutes, it was written up and sent out to Sam. And very quickly, Sam said yes. So I need you to know that a very incredibly generous donation of Caroline Huber is the reason for why we're here today. It's the reason why this center is named Caroline Huber Holistic Wellness Center. We're incredibly in debt to Caroline Huber and the Huber family for their generous donation that has helped us to establish this site. I also need you to know that the day that we received the check to establish the center was the day that Caroline Huber passed away, in February of 2021. So thank you so much to the Huber family. I'm going to ask Sam to come up and speak a bit about his mom and the origins of this space. Sam.
Oh boy.
He gets a wellness lapel pin.
I get toys too. Fantastic. Hi. Wow. That was a little overwhelming. This is a little overwhelming. This is amazing. So I, as David said, am Sam Huber. I'm Caroline's youngest son. I'm also president of the foundation that she founded called the Stone Foundation of New Jersey. And I'm not sure that this was the vision that she had. She had absolute faith in David Stout. She knew that he had ideas and big plans, and it took about 30 seconds of conversation with her. It took about 30 seconds of conversation with David before this idea was established, or it had been percolating in his mind for years, obviously, but he was like, sure, I can spend a lot of money. And my mother was all in. She was very excited about it. She was in failing health at the time, so it's not entirely clear to me that she knew what she was investing in, but it was very clear to me that this was going to be an extraordinary project. And David came over here with bright lights in his eyes, took me over and showed me what was a sort of decrepit space at the time, and said, it's going to be perfect. And I was sure. I bought in, but it has been transformed into a miraculous space, and as David said, there are really, really impressive partners among many organizations and friends who are buying into the vision and making it happen. And it's absolutely a wonderful, wonderful realization. Those of you who knew my mother know that she would be horrified by this event, by the publicity, by having her name up there, but you know, she had died, and that's my vengeance on her, was to put her was to put her name on this. So anyway, I'm very excited about the day and very excited to be around to watch the programs evolve here and to have all of you involved. And thank you for coming out today, and thank you, gentlemen and ladies and everybody, for being here. It's really an extraordinary, extraordinary day for our family. So thanks very much.
So then there was a second phone call. This time I was not in my basement, but I was actually here on campus in my office, and I got a phone call from Senator Vin Gopal. Vin said, I did have pants on. I was, in fact, in the office, and I did have pants on. Thank you, Sam, for clarifying. So the senator calls and says, I may have an opportunity to get you some money. We've applied through the state to get a set-aside for Brookdale. What would you use it for? And I had some concerns about whether the funds would be able to, as we had envisioned it, would be able to stretch to cover the full construction of this site as well as the programming that we needed. So I said, we could certainly use a lot of money for programming and facilities for the Caroline Huber Holistic Wellness Center. And Vin asked how much. I'll let him talk about that. we were able to secure the funding through Vin and his advocacy. So thank you, Vin, and please come on up and tell the story. Thanks, Vin.
Thank you. Thank you all. What a great day. Beautiful day outside and a beautiful day inside. On behalf of the Senate, I have a proclamation. I'm not going to read it, but this is for the family. And I had the opportunity to read up, learn about your mom and the incredible things that she did, and not just her dedication to mental health, but innovative funding on helping kids learn how to be outside and garden and pick up fruit and vegetables. So many different innovative things. So I'm sure your mom is smiling down at you and your entire family right now for making this a reality for so many families and people here. I remember one of my earliest conversations with President Stout when I got into the Senate was about food insecurity and challenges on campus. He would tell me 4 or 5 years ago that he would have kids between classes, sometimes in their cars. And we see it now all across Monmouth County. I was in a class recently in Ocean Township, and a young girl, 7th grader, started getting very emotional because they were living at a local motel. The parents were out of work. They were a little embarrassed by it, and she had not eaten since the night before, and she was hungry. How you expect that child to go and take a standardized test or do anything is mind-boggling. So this is really incredible. We have, in the last 4 years in New Jersey, have put more mental health funding into the budget than the last 40 combined. And when I asked President Stout if we can try to help Brookdale has an incredible reputation, best community college, if not in the Northeast, in the country. The reputation they have is incredible. And when I asked, we can get you some money, we have some federal funding that the state has, about $550,000, where do you want it to go? He said he wanted all of it to go here, and that has to do with the priorities that this president, this board of trustees have put forward. This is a really challenging time with mental health on the rise, depression on the rise, anxiety on the rise, and to see this community college make this a priority for their students, for their families, for emotional well-being, really speaks volumes. So it's a true honor to be here. Always good to be here with my friend, Director Arnone, County Administrator Terry O'Connor, everybody else that's here. Thank you for making this an incredible day, and we will all look back and see how many lives we have touched starting with today. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you so much. There's a group of people here that we would not be able to do anything at a college without, and that is our Board of Commissioners. Our Board of Commissioners is a constant support for us. So annually, we are able to get funding that comes through the county commissioners that helps to support all of the programming that we do here at the institution. But there's also a pot of money that the commissioners annually dedicate to the college so that we can put it toward what our facilities priorities are. So if it were not for the funding that we were able to get through the county commissioners, again, we wouldn't be here. We decided to take the funding that came both from the Huber family as well as from Senator Gopal and the state. We decided to put the vast majority of that money toward programming. And instead, we used funding that came from the county to help us to build out the space that we're in today. So, Commissioner Arnone, if you would speak to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to also call my companion here, Sue Kiley here, Commissioner Sue Kiley up with me. So I also have a proclamation to the Huber family that I would like to pass on to you there. And I want to thank you for everything that your family's done. You know, the one thing I will acknowledge that, yes, when you call Dave Stout and you say, can you spend some money? He says, oh, yeah, I can spend it. And he does. But let me also state, he spends it for the betterment of the college. And everything is for the betterment of college. I am a huge cheerleader and supporter of our president, Dave Stout, and what he's done here. And I've been here for 14 years. I guess one of the longest-standing commissioners there. And I've seen changes, dramatic changes here at the college. But today we stand here at the pinnacle, and it's because of the leadership and the staff that Dave has assembled, and of course our Board of Trustees. And we're fortunate enough to appoint the Board of Trustees there. And I couldn't be happier with the people that Sue, myself, and the rest of the commissioners appoint there, because we are in such a great place. And it's just not by luck that we're recognized as the best community college in the country. It happens with the people that support that. So I want to thank each and every one of you for that. You know, this program is very close to my heart because, as most people know, and I'm sure the senator knows, Terry, all the staff, obviously, Sue, I live a certain type of lifestyle. And that certain type of lifestyle believes in some of the holistic type of health, I guess you could say, there. And it's very important to me. And so when this came up, and this was part of the process there, it was something that was a no-brainer. I support 100%. The only thing that's changed over the course of the years, probably post-COVID, is the need for the mental side and that component side and an outreach side, that area for our youth. And it's, you know, it's crazy. Probably all of us never would have thought we would have needed, and this would have been such a need here, not only in Monmouth County, but just in the state of New Jersey or our country. But life has changed from what we remember way back when, and there is a need. And it's our job as elected officials to make sure that we have the facilities and the people to run the facilities and the outreach for those individuals to be able to come something and make it very easy for them to come. There's no strings, no difficulty, no embarrassment. None of those areas should be part of the equation. And I commend Brookdale. I am so proud to say that Brookdale Community College is Monmouth County's college. And I say that all the time. And I just don't say that around Brookdale Community College being the best community college in the state. I say that around the state, and I don't care who I'm and where I'm offending somebody, and I do that often there. But I'm proud of doing that. And Dave, the Huber family, Board of Trustees, all the students of Brookdale know this, that it's our job. It's not our job to be in here and to micromanage the day-to-day facility. We have the best in here doing that, running them, but it is our job to fund it. And we would be shortchanging our county if we don't fund it properly. And I can assure you this, everybody here, when that discussion comes up in our budget meetings, because of the initiatives that you take, okay, we do not shortchange Brookdale at all. We never will, because it's a major component of the success of what Monmouth County is. And I can't thank each and every one of everybody that's in here, because you're part of that support level to make programs like this exist and be successful. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Again, thank you for everybody that's been involved. Another great success for Brookdale Community College. Thank you.
You know, it's amazing to me because I remember one of the very first meetings when we came, Anita was with me, and we came in here, and Monmouth County had created a program called Monmouth ACTS, ACTS, and that means Assisting Communities Through Services. And I am so thrilled to see people nodding their heads. You actually know what that is. But Monmouth ACTS was to be able to combine the services in the community with the government and be able to create a comprehensive program where we could help everyone. And that involved getting out into the community, helping people that we might not be able to touch otherwise. So Anita and I came in here after a couple of discussions, and there were a lot more people in the room. But when she started describing the vision that they wanted for this space, I said, wait a minute, that's Monmouth ACTS. It was a matter of, we were all on the same page. What can we do to help students where there's a high congregation of people come to us, ask for help, and get it successfully? And it didn't quite look like this. But it's a wonderful thing. And I look around the room and I see so many people that contributed to making this happen. And I can't thank all of you enough, especially David Stout. Thank you very much.
Thank Thank you, Commissioner Kiley. And Commissioner Director Arnone, thank you for your partnership throughout this. There are so many people in the room who participated in the development of this site. As you said, Commissioner Kiley, when we came into this space, it was raw, it was, I don't need to tell you guys who've been, it was raw, it was ugly, and we had a vision. And it was largely because of people who were in this room that we were able to design the space, including students that participated. We had faculty members, we had members of our community who are different partner organizations who came in and helped us to design this space. So I want to thank each and every one of you who participated in that. I do want to call out a couple of really quick people before I bring our last speaker up. I want to mention that the facilities work that was involved here, there were a lot of fits and starts. There were a lot of logistic issues that were involved. So I want to thank Jimmy Episcopia and Mike Naparlo for all the work they did in the facilities development here. Thank you. And to everyone who's a part of the Wellness Center team, those that are managing the team and managing the programming, Anita, Gina, Patrick, thank you for the work that you've done. I want to also call out Marlena for the work that you've been doing. Thank you, Marlena. So this center relies on multiple partners working together. That was the vision, that we have multiple partners working together because we can't replicate the expertise of organizations that are out there in the community. When somebody needs food, we know who to send them to. When somebody needs housing, we know who to send them to. If somebody is in the need of attending mental health counseling, we know where they can go. So it's partners all working together. And I do want to mention our last speaker is CEO of Monmouth Medical Center, RWJ Barnabas Monmouth Medical. Another phone call that I received was from Eric Carney. And Eric said that he wanted to fund our nutrition center. So thank you to Monmouth Medical, RWJ Barnabas, for funding our nutrition center for 3 years. Thank you, Eric. Come on up.
So congratulations, David and Anita and the team on this amazing facility. I think more than the facility, as impressive as it is and to see the transformation, is truly to understand the programming, because that ultimately what makes the difference. And to know that that programming has a physical space that's welcoming, that's just accommodating and accessible, will make those programs even more impactful. So thank you so much for bringing this to the community. So one round of applause. I do also want to thank Commissioner Arnone and Vin Gopal, as well as many of our other elected officials here today. I will personally say that there's nothing that spectacular that happens in Monmouth County without these two gentlemen behind it. Anytime there's something amazing like today, you are always there. We know that not only are you here to be part of the ceremony, but you're behind it, making it happen. And that extends way behind Monmouth Medical Center, which I know you're both such great advocates for. So thank you for what you do for the community. So since everybody's telling their journey stories, I guess I'll tell mine. So mine started around 2016 when I first joined Monmouth Medical Center as their chief operating officer. I was invited to a meeting with our then president, Bill Arnold, to meet with President Stout. And first time I ever met a college president before, so I was a little intimidated going into the room. And it was members of the administration were there as well. But we talked about that morning was David's vision for student health and student well-being. He had such a great insight to what his students were facing. And more importantly, I think he listened to us as healthcare providers on what we're seeing in our world. And I think it's some of the beginnings of, I know a lot of this really took place in 2021, but really back in 2016, this administration here at the college was thinking about the well-being of their students. And I was actually struck this morning. I was reading an article that I saw on NJ.com. It's a Star Ledger article, and it was an op-ed written by Dr. Michael Alvatroni, who is the president of Fairleigh Dickinson University, actually one of my alma maters. And so he was talking about, the title of his editorial was, "Our college students are struggling," and he's quoted in the article a study by Healthy Minds, which is a national study that's done. Over 500 colleges participate, 750,000 participants. So pretty valid data, and it shared that 44% of the students in the survey are experiencing depression. 37% anxiety, and over 15% expressing suicidal ideations. So this is a crisis, as we've talked about this morning. But what really struck me and about how impressive this morning is that he has a beautifully written editorial, and he goes on to say we must adopt by rethinking our traditional role as educators, working towards creating campuses that are holistic ecosystems for well-being, providing the resources, support, and caring and the caring environment that enables our students to develop into healthy, independent adults. And why I think that's so, it's beautifully written and very, very altruistic and optimistic, but it's the reality what this college is doing already. And again, no discredit to other higher education organizations. Everybody's doing the right thing for our students, but I think it just shows how impressive this administration is and the commitment that it has to its students. David mentioned that we were going to be sponsors of the Food and Nutrition Hub here at the Wellness Center, and we could not be prouder to do that. Our mission at RWJ Barnabas Health is to make our communities healthier. And when you think about that, our president and CEO, Mark Manigan, talks about that as being an inherently noble mission and also very altruistic. And how do you do it when you think about, when you dissect our community is our patients, it's the people who live in the areas that we serve, it is local businesses, it's local nonprofit organizations, it's our staff. It's a very large group of individuals who have very diverse needs, because health is not just physical health, it's mental health, it's social health, it's economic health, all those factors. So we need to be an anchor institution to meet those needs. And the way we do that is through partnerships. And I think many of the partnerships that were shared this morning of how this became a reality, and we're just proud to be just a small part of it, and to work with organizations like Fulfill and Lunch Break to make this nutrition hub truly something that meets the needs of the students. So I do want to close by just thanking the Stone Foundation. And Sam, thank you for being here this morning, and thank you for the generosity of your family. At Monmouth Medical Center, we rely so heavily on philanthropic efforts to make our mission a reality, and none of us are sitting here today. There may be a vision, but without your family really making this possible, we would not be having the impact that we're going to have. So thank you again, Sam, for everything that you've done. Let's give Sam one. So, Dr. Stout, congratulations again on this amazing facility and the programming that will be here. Thank you for making a difference for our community, and you will continue to make such a great impact. Thank you.
So just two quick notes. Michael Alvatroni is a Monmouth County resident, by the way. He knows the best place to live in the and I don't want to violate any federal laws or anything, but his kids may have been students here too. So, looking across the room, we couldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you, all of your partnership. Everybody here contributed in some way, and everybody here I know wants to continue to contribute as partners. So, if you have not already made the connections so that we could involve you as partners here, we're going to have an opportunity in a little while just to mix and mingle and make sure that we do make those connections. We want everyone here to be involved. So I want to say, once again, thanks to Sam. Thank you to Commissioner Director Arnone. Thank you to Senator Gopal. Thank you, Eric, for all of your contributions. Thank you, everybody here, Board of Trustees, commissioners, members of the county who came out who are so supportive, and every single organization, faculty, and students who are here, who are supporting us. Congratulations to all of you for making this happen. Leave it to Nell. She had to remind me that we have a ribbon to cut. Thank you, Nell. Thanks so much. So, in fact, we are going to cut the ribbon, take pictures, and then you'll have an opportunity to make sure that you explore the space. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
Great job.